Welcome everybody to the Big Money Mini channel. This is brand new day, uh, 5/20/21. What should I say? This is David Mini of the Big Money Mini channel. I'd like to welcome you all back and excited, man. Today we are going to start a new book. This is Bedros Keuilian, phenomenal guy. I highly recommend that you follow him. He's on Instagram, YouTube. I believe he's on Twitter. Not too much activity on Twitter. Either way, what a guy, man. This guy's awesome. One of my heroes. Definitely inspired me to correct a lot of areas in my life. Things that I'm working on right now, working on my health. He's a big health guy, big health nut, and he's made money in that industry. And he's transformed it into coaching world and teaching a lesson, teaching people and getting your service out there and making that money. And I'm a huge fan of that. Even though this right here is nothing that's we're even close to looking at as far as getting things monetized. This is just information. But this right here, this book club, just something that I really want to take serious about self-improvement and finishing our first book in this channel, the 25 Biblical Laws of Success, the other day. What an achievement. And I was thinking, there's a lot of books that are recommended in my business. And this is the typical entrepreneur, self-starter kind of books, like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And you know what? And I was thinking, I was like, man, you know what? Everybody in all the industries, not just mine, but every industry out there, all the entrepreneurs, they all read the same books. 25 Biblical Laws of Success is not a book that's very commonly read or even brought up in conversations with other entrepreneurs. But it was something that caught my eye one day a few years ago, and I lit up on it. And this year, I said, I got to finish 6 books. That's my goal. 6 books, never done it before. Never did one in the year, but we got one done. And so moving on, big question in my mind as we were getting that book done was, what was going to be the follow-up? What was going to be our next book that we get into? Excuse me. And I'm a self-improvement junkie. I got a lot of podcasts that I follow, a lot of channels that I follow on YouTube. I'm always listening, watching, trying to learn, trying to gain information, and trying to better myself. And Bedros Keuilian is somebody that really caught my eye. My coach had me at our office watch one of his interviews, and he really stood out, especially from a person who comes from a minority background, somebody who comes from a not rich family. We grew up poor in the hood, and I can really relate to this person, and the majority of our circle here is African American, Hispanic, Samoan, but this guy, Armenian guy, so listening to his story, I learned a little bit about Armenians. I worked with some at the county. There's plenty of them in Department of Social Services, and to see this guy doing what he does, and I love his attitude. I love his outlook on things. And what a story he has to share. And the book we are going to read is Man Up by Bedros Keuilian. Man Up. Now, I got this from his website, and it is a digital copy. It is different than what we were doing before. Usually I'll read a book, I'll highlight it, and write little notes here or there as I was taught to by my coaches, but this is an ebook, and well, we're just gonna do what we can with it. I'm gonna read it to you guys, follow along. We're just gonna do a few minutes. It seems like we'll just go until I feel like we've covered enough, but let me just say, I read a little bit of this introduction to this book, right? Looks like we're going to just cover just the introduction today, not chapter 1, just the introduction. And I think we're going to have to break that down into segments, because I want to shorten up our videos here and Well, I mean, there's so much good stuff in these in this short. I mean, in this introduction already, and I can't wait to introduce this gentleman to you guys by way of his books. Right. So, as we get started, just um, if you guys could do me the big favor and like, share, subscribe, right? Share my channel, follow me, support on at Big Money Manny on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube, actually, as David Manny, gonna make that name change soon. But there's a book again, Man Up. I better get your free copy online. Definitely seems like it's worth the read. Just knowing the individual himself. This is another thing that's a little different. The last book we read, I didn't know anything about these two guys, William Douglas and Ruben Teixeira, but I learned about them through the reading of that book. Today is a man who I love watching his videos. I love watching him interview other people. Fantastic guy, right? And so I can't wait to dive into this, guys, and I'm excited to see how you guys feel about it too. To meet one of my heroes, Bezos Kulian, who's inspired me to become rich, wealthy, successful, and pretty much as the book says itself, man up. All right, so starting off, he's gotten a lot of accolades here from the New York Times, from who is this? MFCEO, Forum International, Shonda Sumter, the founder of the Hardcore Business, a Super Bowl champion, Steve Weatherford with the New York Giants, all giving great accolades to this gentleman and to this book. And here we go. This is Man Up: How to Cut the Bullshit and Kick Ass in Business. All right, how to cut the bullshit and kick ass in business. All right, nice little start as we get going. I mean, if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. This is it right here. Man Up. I mean, what a title. I know he goes into an explanation of why he chose that as his as the title. And I mean, I just knowing him from his podcast, it suits him. It suits what he wants to teach. All right, how to kick ass in business and in life. Bezos Kulian. So, dedicated to his wife Diana and their two kiddos, Andrew and Chloe. Without your support, sacrifice, and patience, this work would not be possible. Awesome. By the way, I want to write a book myself as we're doing this book club. I think it's just an awesome thing to put a book out there. Let's start off with a preface. And what a preface, guys. You have permission, it says. All right, you have permission. Tell you, man, this guy is awesome. All right, it says here, I give you permission. All right, hopefully you guys can read that. I give you permission to grab hold of everything. Okay, see, let's move that over a little bit. I give you permission to grab hold of everything you've ever wanted in life. I'm struggling on the first sentence. Help me, Lord. All right, I give you permission to turn your idea into a business and your business into an empire. I give you permission to live your life on your own terms. I give you permission to make as much money as you want. I give you permission to not have to explain yourself to anyone. That's me right there. I give you permission to be bold and aggressive in pursuit of your dreams. Love that. I give you permission to think and dream bigger than you ever have. My wife will tell you that's me right there. Permission to think and dream bigger than you ever have. I give you permission to give up your mediocrity in every area of your life. I give you permission to increase your self-worth. I give you permission to build your self-image. I give you permission to love yourself. I give you permission to get what you want in life. I give you permission to ignore what others say about you. I give you permission to enjoy incredible experiences with your family. I give you permission to be a capitalist. I give you permission to have exceptional health. I give you permission to cut your deadlines in half. I give you permission to not just be successful, but to build an empire. Nice. And finally, I give you permission to man up, take control of the situation, and rise to your potential. Whew, what a beginning. What a beginning to the book. I feel empowered already. I feel ready to go. Even though I'm recording, when I said I wouldn't record early in the morning, I'm excited. What a way to start the book, man. What a way to start the book. If you don't feel powered up, if you don't feel fired up, if you don't feel like you can just get out there and just tackle any objections, any situations, any circumstance, I don't know what's gonna do it, man. Jesus couldn't raise you from the dead. I don't know what's going on with you, but that is an awesome start to the book, man. I could read that every day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a poster out of that. Damn, I'm gonna put a poster of that in my office. Thank you, Bedros. That is awesome. All right, so, all right, fair warning. All right, fair warning. It says what you are about to read and the lessons in this book might hurt your ego, might steep pride. It might even get you to question your work ethic because they hit so close to home. I'm not here to coddle you or to tell you what you want to hear. I am here to tell you what you need to hear. We just talked about that. All right, to slap the bullshit right out of you and force feed you the truth that you've been avoiding about becoming the leader you're meant to be. I'm here to kickstart the life that you were meant to live so that you can reach your fullest potential. And as an entrepreneur and in every other area of your life, in this book, you're going to discover the 6 pillars of effective entrepreneurial leadership, right? The 6 pillars of entrepreneurial leadership. Let's go through it. He says, number 1, self-discipline. I heard that, right? Because you can stop everything in your business. You alone can stop your whole damn business. Number 2, clear and effective communication. I mean, if you want to make it easy on yourself, absolutely. Number 3, decisiveness. Number 4, emotional resilience. Number 5, clarity of vision and path. All right, know where you're going, know what you want. And number 6, a high performance team. I heard that. It says, buckle up and get ready for the ride. It is time to man up. What an awesome start. Awesome start. So now we are here finally at the Now we are here at the introduction. All right, so the introduction says, being a badass leader can kill you, literally. Man, okay. Being a badass can kill you, literally. I think I'm gonna save this. I'm thinking we're gonna move to the next one tomorrow, but let's read. All right, it started off like any other Monday morning. All right, it started off like any other Monday morning. I got up, showered, had my morning protein shake and a cup of coffee, then prepared to get dressed for the day. But when I went to grab my sneakers, I couldn't find them. I scoured the house and couldn't find them in any of the usual spots, by the front door, in the master bedroom closet, next to the couch. Then I remembered that the day before I had played the drums in our guest house. See, as a kid, I grew up playing all types of percussion instruments. So when I got some money together, I bought myself a used drum set and put it in the guest house, right? Far enough from my family that I could make as much noise as I wanted. From time to time, I'd head up there and rock out. I preferred to play the drums barefoot, so Sunday I had taken my sneakers off and went at it. When I was done, I left them behind and walked down the stairs across the pool deck and to the main house barefoot, like I sometimes do. I retraced my steps across the pool deck and up the stairs into the guest house, and there they were, right where I left them. As I bent down to put my sneakers on, I felt my chest tighten and convulse. My chest felt so constricted that I thought an angry silverback gorilla was giving me a bear hug. My arms went numb and started to tingle. My throat began to close, and it got increasingly difficult to catch my next breath. As hard as I tried, I could barely stand. The whole world was in tunnel vision, and the only thing I could hear was my sloshing beat of my racing heart as the blood was unsuccessfully attempting to pump through my body. Ooh. Man, I staggered. My hearing got muffled, and my chest got even tighter. My first thought was what anyone's thought would have been, holy shit, I'm having a heart attack. And I was convinced I was going to die. I remember feeling so sorry for my wife and my 7-year-old. Let me stop right there. Let me stop. I can totally relate to this because, I'm 35. I'm 35, and when I was 20 years old, I had a heart attack. And I don't need a doctor to confirm it for me. I was doing a job after being laid off from management at the airport, which I thought I was going to be there for life. I was making good money, the youngest supervisor ever to be in the company, the youngest manager ever in the company. And I was one of the ones to get laid off first when 2008 hit. And I was facing a lot of stress, went from that to a lot of logistics companies that weren't hiring, and ended up being picked up by a agency worked for Seas Candies, right? I did all their online orders, mail orders, and things like that, processing their checks that they got through the mail. There's a lot of old folks who would write checks and send it down there, old school. Anyways, I felt like I lost my manhood. Because here I was just a couple weeks ago, I was a big shot, and now nothing. Right? And there was an Asian guy there by the name of John, and he was asking me, hey, if you want to make some extra money, my family needs a driver. I said, why would your family need a driver? You sound like a rich dude, but you're over here working at the agency with me. Turns out his family ran a business, and they're involved in a lot of stuff, which is going to go into my book when I finally write it. I was working for the mob, you guys. I was working for the mob, and got to do a lot of things for them, for work, and there's not really a punch in, punch out. You were the driver. I was the driver. So anyways, I remember sitting in the back of their bobtail truck, smoking a cigarette, waiting for the next load, and everything was going down. Had my heart attack right there, and I don't need a doctor to confirm it for me. I know what it is. I know what it was, and maybe it wasn't just a bad heart. I think it was just like this. I think it was just like what Kulian went through, which is a stressful relationship or stress in his life, which we're going to cover right now. But man, so it is true. You start thinking about family, right? So the first thing that came through his mind was, holy shit, I'm having a heart attack. I was convinced I was going to die. I remember feeling so sorry for my wife and my 7-year-old son and my 5-year-old daughter. I felt heartbroken for them. I thought, will my kids grow up thinking that working too hard killed their dad? Ooh, what a question. They were going to be left alone, and all for what? Because dad's ambitions, dad's workaholism. What I was afraid of the most was this sense of my kids losing their father and the trauma and life imbalance they would have as a result. I think about that too. That's why I'm focusing on losing weight now. The resulting life imbalance and trauma from losing a father. I wondered about what man would replace me as a husband and father. What lessons would he teach my kids? Would he walk my daughter down the aisle at her wedding? It all happened in a flash, but those memories remain vivid to me even to this day. Then I thought, if I die here, no one is going to find my body for days. I need to get downstairs and get back into the main house, or at least down to the pool deck. There was a chance that my wife would see my dying body from any one of our massive windows or French doors that are facing the pool deck and call for help. I stumbled my way down the staircase, and to my surprise, my breathing eased up a bit. I was able to catch a decent gulp of air. My tunnel vision went away. Then my hearing went back to normal. After that, I remember the hearing part, the heart attack. Then my hearing went back to normal. After that, my heart stopped racing and slowly regained a normal rhythm. I reached the bottom of the guest house staircase. My heart attack had mysteriously disappeared. I found myself a sweaty mess. Shaken up and wondering, what the fuck just happened to me? Now I know what you're thinking. This is the point in the story when I immediately go to a doctor, he tells me what happened, and I clean up my life, right? Wrong. Instead, I thought, I just cheated death. It says, I'm sorry, I thought I wrote this down. Instead, I thought I just cheated death, and I still have a ton of work to do today. And I need to get going. Monday morning, heart attack, right? Or Monday morning heart attack, just a little hiccup. Before, I better get back to work, or I better get back to it now that things were back to normal. That's a driven person right there. That's a driven person, a workaholic. That's like my dad. So I went to work like nothing happened. When I returned home that night, I told my wife, Diana, about my brush with death in the guest house earlier that morning. Di suggested, wisely and firmly, that I go see the doctor the next morning. After a gamut of tests, that's a new word for me, gamut, G-A-M-U-T, of tests, the doctor reported that my heart was fine. And in fact, I had not had a heart attack at all. It was instead a massive and severe anxiety attack. That's what I'm trying to say. It was one of those that I had to. It couldn't have been my heart. Freaking 20 years old. The first of many to come. It didn't come as too much of a shock. I'd been surfing on a wave of worry and stress for a long time. I was a bad sleeper because I always had so much business stuff on my mind, and I remedied that with a nightly dose of NyQuil and leftover Vicodin from a knee injury I had a few years earlier. The NyQuil and Vicodin combo led to my waking up foggy-headed, remembering my reality, and then reluctantly pulling myself out of bed. To remedy the fogginess and regain my energy, I drink a ton of coffee in the morning and then maintain a constant drip of pre-workout all day. I told the doctor all of that, and he was blunt. Bedros, you've got to do something about your stress. And you may very well end up back here, or you may very well end up back here with a real heart attack, and you'll be lucky to survive. I was 38 years old and flirting with medical problems that affected people decades older than me. This was doubly embarrassing because to look at me, I appeared to be the last person on earth who would have a heart attack at the age of 38. I worked out religiously. I went on long, strenuous hikes. I took on challenges in which I trained for a discipline and then competed in that sport at the end of a training cycle. Having never been a fan of running, I once trained only 6 weeks and then ran the San Diego Marathon, 26.2 miles. Oh my gosh. 2 weeks later, I started a new 6-week challenge. I didn't stumble upon these physical challenges by accident or whimsy. I worked hard to make sure my body was hard. These weren't just personal pursuits or vanity exercises. 17 years earlier, I got certified as a personal trainer. I was in the business of getting people in the best shape of their lives. I changed literally thousands of physiques, taking many people from the worst shape of their lives to peak performances. Fitness and health was my life. If I wasn't training clients, I was working out. I believed I was the poster boy for health and fitness, and I was, but only on the surface. It says here, I was physically healthy, but emotionally, I was a wreck. And my doctor let me know how related these two things are. Good for him. Good for him. Man, we'll stop there. We'll stop there because we got a couple more pages that we need to cover. But, man, that was exactly what I felt. And maybe it wasn't a heart attack. Maybe it was an anxiety attack, which is very similar. But definitely, if unchecked, it will lead you to more heart attacks or to actual heart attacks, as the doctor said. And so here we are, just a glimpse of who he was, before writing this book. Workaholic, man, workaholic, and he's got that drive. I mean, he's everything I look for when I look for people in my business, for my business. And man, what a powerful start. Just getting started here with the introduction. We got the preface done and some of the introduction. Excuse me. We'll finish off the introduction tomorrow, and we'll get with it. But just wanted to get the book started, because if we don't start it, I mean, it's gonna take forever. I didn't want to take a day off, and wanted to put up a video and get this thing out to you guys. I highly recommend you guys pick up this book and follow along with me. And if not, listen in. We're going to try to put this the audio version on damn it, I forgot the name of our new podcast app. Sorry guys, Anchor, which is all audio from every podcast or whatever podcast we'll post on there. But definitely follow me on there. That I'm going to get that thing started as well. But excited to start this book by one of my heroes. My very recent heroes, Bedros Keuilian, and like I said, I just love his content. I love the videos that he puts up, and he seems to be an example of everything that I like to be. And of course, I teach people, you don't want to compete with the Joneses. You don't want to compete or compare yourself with other people. You need to compete, not compare. I'm sorry. Don't compare yourself, but compete. Don't compare yourself, but you can put yourself headed in the right direction. If there's someone who's an example of what you want, then go ahead and put your best foot forward and head the right direction. You don't got to sprint, but if you can just take a step there, you'll get there eventually. Anyways, guys, let's end it here. We're gonna end this broadcast. I don't want to go too far over half an hour or anything, but anyway, I'm blessed to have been given this opportunity to share with you guys. I am very excited as I continue to add more to this podcast dream of mine. And, just being able to share with you guys. And we're going to look to change up the time frames and everything. I'm going to get a new look going here. But if there's any questions you guys have, any suggestions, throw it in the comments, message me directly, hit me up. Again, follow us on Facebook at Big Money Manny Gang, or at Big Money Manny on Facebook. David Manny on YouTube, at Big Money Manny, on Twitter and TikTok. All right. And, there's going to be some other messages that I throw out there also on my channel, some of my podcasts, my little rants and things like that. Just things that I had on my chest that I feel I got to get to you guys. And like we heard today, you don't want to be apologetic about speaking your mind. And Bedros Keuilian, he's just one of those types of guys. And I love that. Right. So I give you permission to increase your self-worth, build your self-image, love yourself. Get what you want in life, ignore what others say about you, enjoy incredible experiences with your family, and be a capitalist. I feel good, you guys. I feel good. Looking forward to reading some more with you guys tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe right now. Hit the button. All right. Love you all. Have a good night.